This is a quick recording on how to use the query features in Worktop or in Extend, but I think you have to use it from Worktop. First, the actual query stuff is in Extend Technical under Technical-Data Query. We will open up query data first, and you'll see all these queries. When you create your query, you have a query name that I think the Bond users end up using the table name here, which makes no sense to me. I use something that actually tells you what it's doing. Description's just a little bit longer. Between the two, hopefully we can identify what the query was made for and whether we still need it. They also don't fill out this owner. I'm filling it out so that I know which ones I did, and it makes it easy to go, was it that one? No, that one? Figure it out, which query I'm looking for. Right off, let's look at, double click one of those, and you'll see it's a SQL query. But not knowing all of this stuff, that's what the rest of the tutorial is about, how to figure out this stuff. And a lot of times if you're using criteria, it's not just a string with the thing. There's like a variable that it assigns to that value, and yeah, it's what I'm trying to say is you're probably not going to write this SQL query. You're going to have to use the interface that they have. But anyway, so the place I start is I'm going to close that and go, we're going to do a query on addresses to find address codes that have a long name that is empty. And I'm going to go to Central Addresses and open up the field that shows what I'm looking for. This multi-row session does not have long name in it, so I'm going to open one of the items, and here is where you can type Control-Shift-7, not F7, Control-Shift-7, and it gives you the XML tree of all of these fields. They're grouped by tab and then by box. So what I'm looking for is address code, name, and long name. I'm going to pull name too, just so that we know what we need to change long name to on the ones that are empty. So those are going to be on the General tab and likely in the first group. Address code, name, and long name. So here's our three fields. I'm going to write them down real quick. Well, I'll write them on the screen. Notepad. Table is tccom 130. Fields are CADR, customer address, I assume. Nama. Surely that's not German for name. Name A, probably. lname.c. Long name.c. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to drag that over here. Close that, close that, close that. We're back over here. Go back into query data. We'll do a new query. ADR long name. ADR names. JWrite. Addresses with empty long name. Just let it name the report. Just tab on through. On print options, go into the window and choose the very last one. I don't know why, don't know anything about it. Save and close. Okay, there's our query. Now go to specific, or you can right click it, either way. And we'll go to query by easy SQL. Popped up off screen. And we need to add our table, so new. And you can click this and it brings up a list of the tables, but it's kind of slow. So when I have the info, I tend to type it. Dagnammit. No, don't do that, Windows. TC COM 130. Save. Then click the table, specific, add table fields or query fields, either way. Off screen again. Oh, yeah, this is the one that lists them, which is sometimes harder to find and sometimes really slow. If you go to query fields, it opens up another blank one that you can add them by just typing. And you get the like criteria stuff. So I'm going to say tccom130.cadr, and yes, sadly you have to type the table name in there too. You could use one of these, but we're not going to. Print means that it's going to include it in the results. So technically we could, when we're doing long name, we could leave it out of the print because we know it's blank, because that's going to be our criteria. But I'm going to add everything, just, well, I'll show you. Anyways, save and close that one. Or new tccom130.nama. Nothing there. Print. And I have to click in this box to get it to give a print sequence. That's how you can change your column order in the output. Save and close. New tccom130.lname.c. Well, I guess let's try equal blank. Don't know if that'll work or not. So here I could say don't print it because it's blank. Why do we want to print it? But if I were going to do the filtering in Excel, which maybe we should, because I don't know if they're all blank, they might have spaces. So let's take the criteria off and say print it and make it column 3. And I don't know what these things down here do, so save and close, save and close, save and close. Then we basically have to compile this thing. That's my assumption of what it's doing, but you have to hit generate query report. You won't have to do it again. You just have to do it anytime the SQL changes. Generate query report. If you've changed the SQL, it'll give you an error saying, do you want to replace the current report? And you just say yes. And for some reason I'm in company 000, so I'll have to do something here that you shouldn't have to. But when we go to run the query, we click on the query and then go run query under specific. And since I'm in company 000 for some reason, it's already changed for me. If you're doing a query on anything that is in a table that starts with TT, you have to do it from company 000. Most of that stuff is like usernames, that kind of thing. But anything else, if you do it from 000, you'll get an error message. You have to run the report from company 100. So let's execute. It will ask for a printer. I'm going to say file, device. I like this B2Win 8.8. It's kind of cool. Tab, continue. we're launching B2N. Gives you this, whatever that is, wizard. I've set my presets. I can't remember what was already set. Table, it doesn't have a logo, but whatever. Font size, I say launch. You could say send it or print it, whatever. You can have it import to Word, text, PDF, HTML, XML, but Excel is going to be where you're probably going. This is the way it would print out into Excel if we were not using B2N, but since we're using B2N, when I hit run, it come on, has already done all the columns and gotten rid of the header crap. The only thing it has not done is these fields for some reason come out with a space in front of them. So the first thing I do with any data that comes out by one of these queries is I hit equals trim. I don't think that first cell has a space, but it won't hurt anything to go ahead and do that. The only other thing that can be a problem with this B2N is I haven't figured out a way to tell it to treat a column as text, so it will cut off leading zeros. Copy. Which, if that's going to be a problem, use MS Excel as the printer instead of B2N. Paste values, and then delete all these formulas. Okay. Now we've got no spaces at the beginning or end of anything. So we are going to data filter. Whoa. What just happened? Oh, apparently it froze the top row and the bottom and the left column. Huh. Show me the blanks. Oh boy. 128 out of 77,000. That's not bad. Okay. You'll want to save it somewhere else because it's saved that somewhere ridiculous, some temporary path. But that is essentially the query tool in Worktop. I have tried some queries that have related tables, and they're very, very finicky. Definitely don't try to write the SQL yourself. You'll just go to a lot of work and it won't work. It'll give you an error without even bringing up any data. The only time I've been able to do some of that, where you're using more than one table, is if you can go to, let's see, when we're in Query by EasySQL, in here, if it lets you add a related table, you click this table and say add related tables. If the one you're looking for is in here, then it works. But if it doesn't recognize the relationship, it's not going to when you try to query. Even if you go into the SQL and do a comma and add the table, it's not going to figure it out. And I have not found any kind of join text or anything. There's no real advanced SQL ability in this easy SQL thing. But that's it. Thanks.